My name's Tom, and I'm 31 years old. My ex-girlfriend, Lisa, who's 29, found me and wanted to hang out, but I ignored her after she broke my heart. Let me take you back to 2015. I met Lisa at college. We had so much in common, and instantly got close. She asked me out, and it was a wonderful relationship, or so I thought. We had dreams together, sent some intimate pictures now and then, and did a lot of things together, though not anything physical yet. In 2019, around Christmas, I was planning to propose to her. I had gifts for her parents and siblings. I even got a gift for her mum, who didn't like me much. Lisa worked at the hospital, so I expected her to get off work later. By 5 p.m. she hadn't shown up at her parents' place, but I went ahead and gave everyone their gifts. When I gave her younger sister Mary a laptop for school, she cried and hugged me. She'd always wanted one. Her father, James, got a new barbecue grill. A bit later, Mary pulled me aside, clearly upset, and took me to her room with her father following us. She kept apologizing, and I was utterly confused. Then she showed me a pregnancy test and said it belonged to Lisa. I lost it completely and demanded to know about the affair. Mary told me it started at the beginning of 2019 while I was working long hours at my factory job. Lisa's mum was the one who introduced Lisa to the other guy. In November, Lisa found out she was pregnant and begged Mary not to tell anyone after Mary discovered the test. When I learned all this, my world crumbled. I decided to leave. Before going, I thanked Mary and James. James apologized and said he'd understand if I left. We shook hands and I said my thanks. I glanced at Lisa's mum, who I'll call Jane, and then walked out of their house without looking back. James and Mary were furious with Jane. By 7 p.m., I told my family what had happened, and they comforted me. Around 11 p.m., my phone blew up with calls and texts from Lisa, claiming she could explain. I ignored her, changed my number, deleted my social media, and altered my email. I wanted closure, but not at the cost of seeing her again. Fast forward to mid-2020, a friend informed me that the guy who got Lisa pregnant had run off after learning he was the father. They were searching for him, but I couldn't care less. Last month, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was Lisa, begging me to talk and maybe give her another chance. I asked, "Why should I after what you did?" She kept rambling, and I just ignored her because I didn't want to relive that pain. Lisa started gaslighting me. Her friends and Jane called me a coward for not seeing her again. I told Jane, "You've got the nerve to say that after what you did." She kept talking, so I hung up and blocked their numbers. I told her friends what happened, and they left me alone. 3 months after posting my story, Lisa found me on Mother's Day. My mum wanted to go to Red Lobster since she loves seafood, and one of my half-sisters, Raven, joined us. As we were about to leave, I ran into Mary and Jane at Red Lobster. Mary was shocked to see me, and I prayed Lisa wasn't with them. Thankfully, she wasn't. Jane looked at me with disgust, while Raven was in disbelief. Jane was stunned to see Raven for some reason, which I couldn't figure out. I was about to explode, but then I saw my mum and Raven, both ready to confront Jane. I had to calm them down. Mary then asked me to talk. After a heated argument involving my mum, Jane, and Raven, Raven suggested that Mary and I talk alone. We did. Mary asked how I'd been, said she missed me, and wished I hadn't left. She told me Lisa was miserable after I left, but I said, "That's not my problem." I asked how school was going and Mary cried, saying Lisa had broken the laptop I gave her. Before I left, I asked Mary why Jane hated me. Mary said it was because Jane saw me with another woman who turned out to be my sister, Raven. I laughed and told Mary that Lisa's actions were wasted since the warranty was still available until November 2022. Mary danced with joy and said she'd get the laptop fixed right after dinner. We hugged and said goodbye. The next day, I waited at the electronics store and saw Mary and James arrive. I smiled as we chatted. James loved the grill I gave him and apologized again for what happened. I told him there was nothing he could do. After the laptop was fixed, we talked for nearly an hour. They insisted on taking me to a restaurant I'd never been to as a thank you for helping Mary with the laptop. Mary apologized, saying she hoped I could forgive her and not be upset. Then, my ex, Lisa, showed up. She looked worse than I imagined, like a surgery gone wrong. She tried to hug me, but I just stuck my hand out and asked, "What do you want?" Lisa apologized and begged me to take her back, saying it was a mistake. I told her, "You cheated on me for nearly a year while I worked my ass off for us. This is how you repay me." She tried to blame Jane, but I said, "You went along with it. You could have told me you weren't happy, but you didn't. It's not my problem anymore. I moved on and you did too for nearly a year. And then you tried to gaslight me, claiming the baby was mine when we never even got physical. Now your affair partner left you and is on child support." She asked why I was being so mean. I told her, "You caused this. I wanted kids. I nearly bought a house for us and you threw all that away." Lisa said she threw it away because Jane saw me with another woman. I laughed and called Mary over to explain that the woman was my sister, Raven. Lisa cried hard and realized I'd been faithful all along. She wished she'd never listened to Jane and said she hated her for it. Lisa begged for another chance, saying she'd do anything to fix things. I told Lisa, James, and Mary, "I wish you all the best," and walked out. I told my family why I was out so long, and they were proud of me for not taking her back. My dad laughed and said, "Jane wanted you gone, son, and found a stupid reason for it. You'll find a better woman next time." So yeah, thank you all for everything. I didn't think I'd run into her again, but even though I got closure, it wasn't worth seeing the two women who broke me.